I believe the first stage is when I say, begin small. You need to gather together people who are believers, who are believers in the gospel and the Catholic faith and the teachings of the church, and begin there. Then the next stage is to reach out. And people are talking about reaching out and maybe don't have an understanding of the faith themselves. So we need to gather people together, just like the early disciples, and begin small, like our Lord did with 12 disciples, and build from there.
And I think that's understandable, because we are embarking on a journey into the unknown. This is uncharted territory. And I think it's understandable that people are a little bit apprehensive. We don't, as far as I understand, have any precedent which allows us to foresee what the outcome will be and what is going to emerge from all of this. But at the same time, I would like to think that the process of making this unfamiliar journey will have its own particular benefits. I think it provides us with an opportunity to reflect on what it means to be a Christian community. I think it's a challenge for all of us to consider how we can have a more personal relationship with Jesus Christ amid many other kind of attractions. I think it's a challenge to all of us to consider how we can promote gospel values in a society that is becoming more and more secular.
One of the first things we did was have the leadership of our parishes, people involved, volunteering in various aspects of our parish, come together and share some of their best practices and what's missing in our parishes that we can't do alone.
The network I would like to see beginning to develop in our diocese is of all the different movements and the different groups who are involved in the whole business of faith development, and are bringing young people into a deeper relationship with Jesus.
What I would like to see is some form of ministry for parents of children who have a child for baptism.
Our pastoral team is made up of people who are chairpersons of various working groups, liturgy, community, faith and justice, finance. I won't forget some of the Circle of Care looks after our young people. Also we have a church property and maintenance group. So each one of us has an equal voice around the table of running the parish and serving people in the parish.
We live in a moment of great change. We see huge changes taking place in our society. We see huge changes taking place in the fact that Ireland has become a country of destination, for example, rather than a country of emigration, which was part of our history. We've had great changes, thankfully, in our whole economic system. And we've huge changes in our society as a result of new affluence and new people coming to us. And the Church itself is not immune to the reality of change.
People out there that do not know about the message of Christ, and we need more people that can train them, that can help them, and I believe that the clustering rationalisation is a way to do that.
I suppose a concern that I have would be that it'll be left to just a few people, as these things often are, and that we wouldn't have the full involvement of everybody, because I think we need everybody involved.
If there's a possibility in parish of finding this partner for the pastor, this makes a world of difference. It frees the pastor to then spend the time in the things that he was ordained for, and to help the person as the partner deal with some of the more administrative tasks, and working with the pastoral council. The priest and the partner together might be able to form this kind of relationship that would be helpful for the parish, and then be a model for the pastoral council as well, so that the pastoral council could then be a resource to parishes.
I mean, you'd often wonder what's the secret to building community in parish. I've an old cousin, he's a priest out in San Diego, and I visited with him, and I arrived on an evening when he was having a barbecue for the people who helped out with the annual parish fair. He had 230 people at a barbecue. And I asked him what's the secret to building a community like this in the parish. And he told me he only had one gift, and it was saying thanks to people.
So, because of circumstances that have arisen, the Church, and in particular our diocese and the individual parishes, have to look at a new way to exercise ministry.
at the bottom of it, working in this way has given me a chance to live out the call of my baptism, to share the gospel in a very understated kind of way, without kind of lights and whistles and all the rest, but just in practical ways, to be available to people and to say, well, okay, this is my faith, we share it, why don't you dive in and explore it yourself?